So this video is about the theory of spot-free water. And it's a little bit like a science lesson, so just go along with the flow. It's a little bit complex and I'm going to rave a little bit. The most important thing is to understand water itself and that there's stuff dissolved in water. So one way to find out how much stuff is dissolved in water is to use a TDS meter. Now TDS, here's one here. TDS stands for total dissolved solids. In other words, how many solids are dissolved in the water. And we read it in parts per million. Now the interesting thing is that pure water does not conduct electricity. So the way a TDS meter works, which you can't see through the camera quite, but there are two electrodes here, two poles like this. And this small device just passes a very small current across those poles and measures the conductivity. Yeah? So this just so you understand that it is actually measurable how much stuff is in water. So what I want to do is talk about the nature of water when it dries. So if you can think about the bonnet of your car or a window after it's rained, and if your car's a little bit dirty, then you can remember that when it rains, you see spots on the bonnet or on the windows at home. If it's rained and you haven't had your windows cleaned for a long time, then you see spots on the glass. And this is not actually the spots from the rain, it's the spots caused by the nature of how water behaves. So I'm going to use a whiteboard to explain it. When water dries, it always dries in a circle, yeah, so that it'll form a droplet, and actually it's like a bubble like this. So the surface tension of the water is less around the outside, so as a rule water will dry in concentric circles and will get smaller and smaller and smaller. So what you see is that the solids that are in the water will be left, it's probably better to draw it again, so you'll see that the solids that are in the water will be left in a lower concentration there, a higher concentration here, and a higher concentration, and then almost be solid. So when you look at a spot of dirt from water, you'll see that it's gathering towards the middle. Now, that's why you get spots on the glass. And in order to get spot-free water for window cleaning, we need to use water that when it dries, you'll still have a bubble of water on the glass. You'll see that later. But when it dries still in circles, but there's actually no solids in the water. So it evaporates away and there's no spot. Now, there's something very interesting that actually what we're talking about is a spot that the eye can see. So we know that there's actually a measurement between 0 and 50 in the TDS scale, whether the eye can see that or not. Yeah, so we'd say that if the TDS is below 50, then you have spot-free water, and the reason for that is it's 50 parts per million. So actually, you can't see that density, right, with the naked eye. So that is the general summary. It's still a bit complex, but watch the rest of these videos. We're going to explain exactly what is in the water, why it's in the water, how it's attached to the water molecules, and how we remove it using the resins that we use in a DI system, how it removes it, so you can understand what's actually happening inside your system. Okay? Keep watching.